Hi, welcome to the Chattanooga Ed Show. Tonight we're doing a fish versus fish opposed to our normal craft ed. And tonight's special topic is wood. But before we get into it, let's introduce these two crazy guys. Right below me is the amazing Skipper. And after this show, Skipper's going to have his a secondary show called The Nocturnal Feeding. I think I've been doing the Nocturnal Feeding as a co-host or host, and now back to co-host for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. June will be 4 years for me watching you during that whole time. And when I started watching you, though, you had already moved up. I think I can't remember.
Yeah. James was doing the Nocturnal Feeding, I think, at 2 a.m. on Thursdays when we first started.
Yeah. By the time I started watching, you guys had already moved up. And I think your part, the Nocturnal Feeding part, was maybe 11 o'clock. I don't remember.
Whoa. John's talking on my phone. I must have just paused this show or something. And then all of a sudden, John starts yelling at me from my telephone. Who's watching this show? Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Just a little. Yeah.
Scary.
I don't think my chat's working because I only see 3 people, and I know there's 34 in here. So hold on. Let me reload.
This is Rico Stan, the afternoon delight, master of many foods.
Ooh,
Eating.
I got a cool title. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't think my chat's working. I must be in the wrong because there's only 3 messages in there. You guys see a lot more, right? There's 39 people in here. Yeah. So hold on. Let me
look. You're probably at the start. Get it live. No.
I'll go because I refreshed everything. Here it is. Here. Yep, that's us. There's an ad. There we go. It just wasn't picking up. And now it's doing fine. Chat's been funky lately for me. Well, same for you, right, Ed? Or Skipper?
Yeah.
I can't read any chat on my telephone of my own streams, but I can read everybody else's. So the only way I can watch chat afterwards is on my laptop, and I like to just lay in bed and watch the chat before I go to bed. But why don't I go to my channel? And I'm going to give myself a thumbs up. And I'm number 22 for the night.
Ooh,
awesome.
There's 60 now. 60 people here.
Awesome.
Want me to say some highs? Want to go through that? Or do you want to talk about stuff first?
No, go ahead. Go for the highs. And then we'll get into a deep conversation on wood. And we're going to be talking about what your guys' opinion on wood is too. We're going to just, I forgot another. I was actually supposed to be filming from a different location tonight, and it just didn't work out. So I had to run into this location. So I haven't brought everything back into this room. So we're just going to do the best that we can.
Well, it looks and sounds fine.
Good.
Yeah.
And we will get that other one set up. We'll get it. It's your mom's fault again, isn't it? Your mom.
Indirectly.
Your mother.
It actually 100% is. But she would say it's because I left something sitting out on a table.
And she would be right.
Yeah, but how was I supposed to know there was going to be an invasion of senior citizens tonight?
That's true.
He says it all quietly like they're going to hear him.
Yeah.
They might have their hearing aids turned up.
Yeah. Well, he's fine. Okay, 310 Aquatics was top of the list, and there's Greg the Guppy Guy, Alec Kumanoff, Alien World Airsoft, hello, Andy Carson, Aquatic Moves, B-Wood, Big Cat, Biting Bigfoot, Boots and Cats, Chattanooga Ed, DeMars, Dapper Dennis, Fish Dreams, FishFam.link, Foxy's Fishes, Heather Green, Jeff Kane, Jenny, John McKenzie, Kerosene, Matt, Liquid Zoo, Mac 22, that's a new one, Night Owl Aquatics, Oinky, hi Oinky, Outside in Aquatics, Pooplin's here, Sketty Nona, Sketters, Skipper, Scuba Steve, Stephen P, what's up, Surf City, Nano Aquarium Guy, Tulang Lore, nope, I said that wrong, I'm sorry, Tao Tang Lore, we've been over this, I'm sorry, it's been a while since I saw your name, and I forgot how to pronounce it, my apologies, but we have talked about it. Hi, Travis Myers, Vanosky, Which World, and Xanadu. And there's probably some others that came in while I was reading that. So hi, everybody. And look, you've already got some membership messages. 70 people already. And Poopland says, Ed, no more Thursday Night Football, so I'm all yours again.
Tell me about it, brother. That it's painful.
I'm sorry.
On Thursday nights because I love my football.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right, right?
And we don't want to go football here. We talk football on Friday nights on the Acer channel, but Scott, Alien Worlds is here, and if you guys ever want to learn about shooting airsoft guns, BB guns, he has got a great channel, and he is really good. He's got moving targets, and he can pop them as they're moving and everything. So
nice.
Definitely a cool guy, and I think he's probably won his division too.
Yeah. And doesn't he usually, though? Him and his wife or girlfriend or play, right?
Yeah, Paige is... I think Paige is having a little bit of a down year, but normally the two of them are wicked tough. Yeah, and you'd think that they would be trading with each other and stuff, but they're not. I think that they're probably each other's most biggest enemy because they both want to win. We've had a lot of great girls in the league. Jess from Metalheads has been doing really good. James's wife is Shy is there, and she is doing actually great. She's in 4th place. And then June of the Oscars is dominating the league again with her and her son. Just dominating.
You've also got a membership message from 19 months from Foxanne, and she said to her other half, only 17 months because she's at 19 months. So there's a little competition going on there too. There's Lando saying hi for 2 months, and I'm scrolling down, and then Jeff Kane, 9 months. He's saying hi to Matt. He didn't even say hi to you. He just said hi to Matt. How rude.
That's rude.
Well, Matt's pretty cool. The best part of watching Foxanne's show today, the Hot Train Express, was they sang.
Wait. What'd you? What was the name?
Hot Train Express.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the Pop Brain Express.
Oh no!
It's the Hot Mess Express. But you were very close. You were a lot closer than I thought you were. Yeah. Sorry. Anyways, keep going.
Sang the birthday song twice.
Yes, and I know you love that song.
Yeah, people are talking to me, and it's like I'm not talking while I'm singing the song. I can't type and sing at the same time.
And you like that song so much because it sounds like Roxanne singing, right? Isn't that the main reason you like it so much?
Yeah, well, I think I can I can hit the harmony with it pretty good.
We need to hear that someday.
I'd be a good backup to that song. I sang a little bit of it at the Clash next to you.
Yeah, but it was probably at night, and I didn't really remember a lot of the nights, so just saying.
I have 2 sets of glasses on.
You wouldn't be Ed if you didn't do that. Real quick before you jump into stuff, that's one of the first things that endeared me to James and Ed was I came into the stream. I probably came over from KG Tropicals like so many people do, and Ed was up there talking with James, and the combination, they were just playing back and forth, and Ed was looking for his glasses, and he had both of them on his head at the time, and I was like, these are my people. These are my people right here. This is where I belong.
You know what? I'm a fan that's supposed to be blowing on me, and it's blowing the opposite direction. I am like melted. I've got the fireplace running to keep all the fish tanks warm down here.
Yeah.
It's I know it's only supposed to be like 74 degrees, but it feels like it's 78 when I'm doing the show. Or 85 or something. So I got to turn this fan around. Say something awesome, Skipper. Did you see any blood this week? Is awesome. Okay, I'll be right back.
It's 26 here, and it's 65 in my room, and it feels a little warm. 65 in here right now.
It's 27 here, and in this dining room, I got the pellet stove, so it's probably about 72.
That's pretty close. And we're both looking at a storm this Saturday.
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do tomorrow.
I don't.
Oh,
to get
I'll
ready.
probably go ahead.
Well, I live in town, so I'm going to have to make sure my snow blower's ready and stuff so I can move snow.
That's
Me, I'll end up helping other people, like neighbors, elderly neighbors that should not be out shoveling.
yeah. You go out to snowblow your own walk, and you come back like 8 hours later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, this will be the first year I've used a snowblower. We never used one before. We never just because we had kids. they were the snowblower, But now they're all adults and everything, and so there's a snowblower. So I got to figure out. I mean, I know I can run it. I've just never have. So I should go probably learn.
Tomorrow would be a good time to do it.
Yeah.
some sad news. The old lady next door died.
That sucks.
She had Alzheimer's, and she would come out during this fall. She would go out, and every time a leaf would, everything is covered in leaves, But
I remember
she'd
this
pick
lady.
one leaf up out of her driveway and then walk back to her house, and then go get another leaf one at a time.
Good exercise.
Yeah. She would get in her car and drive around the block and come back. And I was like, I don't know if she should be having a car. And there was like a couple times when she would walk over to our house and lock herself out, but then she couldn't remember why she was at our house. It was really bad. And it's really sad because her husband was taking care of her, but he died last summer.
That's
he had
right.
a heart attack and died.
I remember.
He was actually, everybody thought he was really healthy. He was like still like the union meetings would go to his house and stuff. He was just like an old guy that
you never
helped.
know.
Yeah,
you never know.
But she had to be so scared without him.
Yeah,
sure. That pause of silence was not good. I had so many jokes going through my head. It was not the right time to be saying.
We missed Kenny coming in. Hi, Kenny. There's Big Cat. We did get Mark, Craig's Catfish Cave. We got Oinky, right? There's Mickham. Brad Fowler, hello. Aquatic Moose, and I think we got everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry.
Well,
Hello.
Let's start off tonight's discussion about wood. And let's talk about wood that you don't put in the fish tank. And we can argue it or talk about why it's on this list.
Of course, that's the one I didn't have set ready. I had the other one.
You should have both ready because you never know about him if you can.
I can't even tell which one this is. Unsafe. There we go.
Unsafe woods is the bad woods. And Skipper, you want to go through the list?
Unsafe woods. First up, we have cedar because avoid anything evergreen and coniferous.
It's because it's like it's a soft wood, and it'll rot quicker in your fish than others, and it could give off toxins to your fish.
Yeah, cedar especially. Cedar is like insect resistant. It's great. We use it for that's our living room is tongue and groove cedar stuff. It's a beautiful wood that doesn't need finish, but it is used because a lot of insects don't like it, even because of what it puts out.
Cypress. What the heck is cypress?
Insane in the membrane.
No, cypress isn't that the giant wood that would sink in the rivers that they used to log down in the south and they pull it up?
I don't think so. I think cypress is it is everywhere, but I think it's more of a column tree. It looks like more like a column, and you always hear about the let's go look it up.
Hear about it.
Let's look it up. That way we know. Let's go look up some cypress trees.
I know that. Let's see what notes I have on cypress. I didn't look. That's what I should have done was take pictures of them and send them to Rico. But oops. That's my recipe from Thursday night.
It's like a hedge. Like your hedges out front is what they are.
Oh.
So they're full of toxins also. And it's a very soft wood. It's in the same family as pine trees and stuff.
Oh, and the pine trees is that next is grapevine. And Rico had a fit about this, and I told him I was going to talk about it with some grapevines. Yeah, he's doing it again. I'm like, this guy's having a seizure about the grapevines. But no, supposedly they're soft. They don't necessarily have the toxins, but they dissolve very quick in the water. Well, Rico says that claims he's got a piece of wood that's been in his fish tank for
into this month. It'll be 3 years. January 25th. It'll be 3 years, and it's solid as a rock. It hasn't broken down at all. It's great. It's in this tank. I have videos on it. I have a couple of them. The day I put it in there, and an update this past fall. I did an update on it. It does great. Now I think there's different kinds, maybe of grapevine.
Definitely.
This was a wild grapevine. It wasn't planted. We have a vineyard on the next road over, and so the birds bring, grapes and stuff over, seeds. This had been growing on the south side of the house. Nobody planted it for a very long time. So it was an old grapevine, and again, it was wild. It wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't maintained. It wasn't, So, but it's been 3 years, and I absolutely love it. It's beautiful, and I knew what was on it too because it came out of my yard, and we've never once used any kind of pesticides or anything like that.
And they might in vineyards actually want softer vines so they can sell them to hobby shops and things, so they can twist them and whatnot. I know grapes are number one when it comes to what they're trying to sell and make wines and stuff, but you might as well make a secondary income off those vines. And maybe even a vine that's over 2 years old might be harder than a yearling vine if it's cut back every year.
Yeah.
But Aquatic Aesthetics,
sorry, you go ahead.
My favorite fish store, Aquatic Aesthetics, he's got a grapevine that's been in one of his tanks for over a decade. And he took it from his house and put it in his store just to show people that grapevines get a bad rep.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over to the vineyard, and I'm going to talk to Fumi. She's the one that runs the vineyard over there. And I'm going to ask her about what her process is with the grape wood. What how long is it in the ground? All that kind of stuff. Because maybe you're onto something there. Maybe the vineyards pull that stuff up every year, or no, I can't imagine it's every year, but I imagine just every few years or something they do something with it to pull it up.
Well, we'll cut ours back every year.
We'll find out. Well, I know they cut it back, but I don't think they, you know what I mean? I think maybe it's a few years that they go without replacing it. But I'm going to go ask her. I'm going to find out exactly what the process is for it. Now, this one was on the side of our house for 10 years, and it was there before we moved in. And the lady that used to live here said, no, it just grew one day and we let it keep going. So
there's two different parts to the grape vine. You have the actual tree part of it, and then you have where the grapes are produced. Normally, the grapes are produced off of a newly formed part of the vine. Yeah. That part of the vine is the softest. If you go and trim it, it will leak. I call it water that comes out. It just keeps pushing like a sugar water, which is what it produces to make grapes. It's to help heal itself, kind of like what a pine tree does. Whenever you cut it, it'll form something around that part.
A scab.
Yeah. So I mean, the oldest part of it, I would think that it would be fine. The freshest part, no, because it'd be too green.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes 100% sense. And this is the middle part. Somebody, Elfish Tanks, hi there, asked if I did anything with it. Not really. I peeled off any of the excess bark, and that was it. And this was the actual root ball too, and a big chunk of the actual stem. Not like what Skipper's talking about. It wasn't all the runners and stuff. It was just that main stem, basically. So maybe that's a big part of it too.
Well, on this list, they have that as an unsafe wood because it's soft. And I read underneath the article that had this part on it, and I thought that was not good because they had this cholla. Did I say it right? Charla?
Cholla.
Cholla.
Don't
But this stuff, and they have this as safe, but this dissolves like in tears in your fish tank.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get back to this in a little bit, but I just
In the same,
I don't
real
think
quick,
it's
too,
fair.
in that
Yeah.
same vein, Whip said the same thing earlier about spiderwood. You know, that stuff. Isn't spiderwood azaleas?
Yes,
Is
but
that
it's
the one?
root. That's the
Yeah,
root.
yeah.
So
But it's pretty soft too, isn't it?
Well, you got to understand different parts of the so-called tree
Yeah,
is structured differently from the fruit-bearing part of it.
yeah. So maybe, well, but the stuff that I think that you would get from most people, from most fish stores or whatever, is going to be that better stuff
Yeah,
that
it's
should last longer.
the bottom part. That's like for instance that big stump I got off of you at the Clash. That thing's gonna last for quite a long time.
Yeah, yeah. That's the bad thing about that, though, is we don't know what kind of wood it actually is because it was driftwood. I found that could have been in the lake for years. Who knows?
Yeah, all the toxins will be out of it, so I'm
Yeah.
not worried about it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like it's obvious. We don't- like if we go down to pine. Pine is something that's really bad to put in your tank because of the tar. But I mean, if the pine's been soaking for years, it's going to be so lightweight, but there's
Yeah.
not going to be anything in it left that hurts your fish. I'm trying to get a piece of Rico. Oh, this is actually Rico bark. This is bark I got from Rico, but I guess I didn't bring a piece of pine from Rico. I have a piece of pine upstairs.
Yeah.
From oh no, I don't. I used the piece of pine for the gold nugget blackout,
Oh, gotcha.
and I loved it
I have to
because
get you some more then.
well, I loved it because it makes the artwork lighter weight
Yeah.
because it weighed like next to nothing, but it was a full size piece, and then I lacquered it and made it look like it was underwater. It's pretty cool.
Made it look amazing.
But nevertheless, thank you. Well, it won it all. So
It did.
You did good, Rico.
And part of that too is so it's been in the water for who knows how long. It may be only a season, maybe only a short time. But I gathered it all in April, and it sits outside in the full sun from April until the Keystone Clash. It's baking in the sun, you know, all those days. So it is going to cook out most of the stuff. It makes it relatively safe, you know, just all that time, an entire almost an 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is, outdoors that time in the sun is really going to bake out a lot of that stuff. Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, and then like the lilac, the ivy, the pine, spruce, walnut is actually I think the only hardwood on here.
Yeah,
Even though I'm not
wonder
for
why
sure
not.
about you.
So
But
walnut has in the wood whenever it's soaked, and it doesn't matter how long it's been dried,
Yeah,
kind of has like its own stain in it, and it's very toxic. If you ever, like for an example, the walnuts that are always falling, what it does to your sidewalk and everything, that stuff is inside the whole part of that tree, and it's kind of almost like a safety feature for them.
I really need to learn what it
never
looks
comes out.
like. I need to learn what it looks like then, because I would hate to bring some of that to people. And what about spruce? Spruce is beautiful, but same thing with pine there, right? It's
Spruce is a pine.
a lot of resin.
It's
soft.
Mhm.
But one thing that's not on here is redwood, and redwood's also one that is very soft, and you don't want to add that to your fish tank either. It rots very quick underwater.
I wanted to say something again about the pine and the spruce. Even though you dry it out, that stuff is still in the wood.
Yeah.
The resin of it's still going to be in that wood. If you ever get a kiln dried board, after a while, you're still going to see it try to come out of it. It takes it's just part of it.
The pine, I think, I don't get really big pieces of it, and most of the smaller, thinner pieces seem to be okay because they do cook it out. But they're smaller pieces, you know what I mean? They're more branches and things like that I thought were cool. Naughty wood.
And you're going to see crossovers here because, like we kind of talked about the grapevine should be on the good side. On the good side, we're going to see cherry wood. And there's one cherry that's poisonous to fish too that puts off a toxin. So you have to be careful with cherry wood because when you get that one bad tree, that knocks out your fish. Or, that would suck.
It's a little scary. It is. That's a little scary, that part of it. It's again, I'm hoping that most of the stuff that I get, it's been in the lake. You can sort of tell. I'm looking for pieces that look really sun-baked, really just smooth from the water and stuff that you can tell they've been around for some time. And hopefully that cooking does it, because that would just kill me if I brought a piece of wood and gave it to somebody and then it ended up killing their fish. That would be it. I'd never do it again. I'd be devastated.
This is a piece of Rico wood.
Lots of little interesting little pieces like that. I try to get, a good range, because like the one I gave Skipper, that's not going to go in any aquarium. That was for your pond, right? That was massive.
Yeah, that's going to go.
Then we got those little pieces.
Spring project.
You want to look at the other one then?
Sure. I used another piece of your wood on the gold nugget pleco that I gave to Kenny E.
Nice.
Well, I didn't give it to him. He won it in an auction to help poor kids in Peru.
Oh, which can we talk about that just real quick?
Sure.
They are what? I've got it open here. Hold on.
They were 83%.
Yeah. Still, they're 84 now.
Yeah,
84%. Let's put that in the chat.
They're at what, $8,400 some dollars, are really close. Yeah. It ends January 6th, I believe.
7th, January 7th.
Okay.
I remember Doc A saying that, the 7th. I don't know what time on the 7th, though. Is it the midnight or, the midnight? Is it midnight? I don't know. So, but anyways, they're pretty close there. $8,500. And could we mention Dusty's?
Yeah, but let's mention it, but then mention it again in 30 minutes, and I'll pin that for the last 30 minutes of the show.
Okay, I will pop that in the chat right now.
Actually, in 30 minutes, it'll be over. Holy cow.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
How did we go through a half hour that fast?
I know, right?
I haven't even shown any wood yet.
So that GoFundMe that I put in there, I know I see most, names. I know most of you guys. You already know what's going on with Dusty, but and you've probably seen that in other streams too. A whole bunch of channels are sharing it. Thankfully, thank you so much to everybody that is sharing it. But just go read it when you get a chance. It's a very unfortunate thing that's happened to Dusty and his wife. And if you can help out in any way, please do so.
Okay, let's just rip through these and not talk about it, and then get right to the game.
Oh,
to the what? To the game?
Okay. Well, to the fish versus fish part where everybody has to vote on things.
Yes, I totally forgot about it. Sorry.
No, it's all right. So I don't even know what it is. Older.
It's like the older cones that you get.
Tree.
Yeah.
The older
cones come from older trees?
Yes.
We have a bunch around.
I thought older cones came from some type of evergreen.
No, they're not. They're not really an evergreen, though, right? They don't have. In fact, they look deciduous. They didn't look like an evergreen, but they're cones. The trees themselves did not look like a pine tree. It didn't have that look to it. They dropped their leaves and stuff, right? Or at least they look like they were. Honestly, I don't know, but there's a bunch around us. I just found this year, so I brought a bunch of the alder cones to give away at the Clash. I ended up giving them all to Steven, but
it drops leaves.
Deciduous, okay. Good stuff. Yep, alder is deciduous. Big Cat seems to know it's just trees.
Now there's an apple.
I don't understand how they're saying apple, pears, and cherries. I don't know if I would do that.
I think 98% of them are safe. It's just that 2% you don't want to mess with.
Probably like crab apple. You don't want to use that one. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. Is it because it's a fast grower soft wood?
It's very soft.
I hate crab apples. I grew up with crab apples, and I'd step on them, and they'd hurt my foot all the time when I was growing up because I always ran around with barefoot when I was a little kid.
Well, they were the smaller. They're the smaller apple, right?
Yeah.
Crab
Yeah.
apple
Yeah,
tree.
they're
And-
like that
Yeah.
big, but they're hard as rocks.
Then some of the trees can get a thorn on them too. At least
Yeah,
when we-
thorns.
Tons of apple trees around us. I mean, seriously, like I've mentioned this before. The county I live in is the second largest apple growing county in the United States. They grow the second most. So there's just apple orchards just as far as you can see along the lake. Tons of them. I should see if the apple orchards want to give away some of the stuff. I can get some of the decent wood from them because some of those apple trees, the older style is they're pretty cool looking. There's some pretty cool.
I could let you borrow my little chainsaw, my little handheld. You could like
Little-
put it in your fanny pack and just pull it out. And,
Fanny pack. Come on, Ed. I'm old, but I'm not dumb. Fanny pack.
I assumed you'd always have a fanny pack.
I don't know the fanny pack. I know.
Where do you keep your snacks for you and Wally? In your pocket?
We don't take any snacks. You mean on our walks? We don't take snacks. We get
Oh,
snacks. We
man.
come back. We snacks are when we get home. If we do a good job, we get snacks. We get home.
What happens if you fall and twist your ankle? You can't walk back to the house.
Wally will
You've got
eat
no
me.
food out there.
Wally will eat me. I got a cell phone. There's these things. There are cell phones you can call.
Yeah, but you might have to wait a long time, and you might get really hungry waiting.
It'll be all right. Besides, I can
Oh,
forage. I can crawl around, and there's apples, Ed. I can just grab some apples.
That's cool.
Beach. What's up with beach?
Ugh.
It's what Anheuser puts in their beer. Makes it taste like 2.0 pencils.
Do they put
Our
it in
number
the
two
beer? Or do they
pencils.
just brew the beer and put it in it for like a short period of aging?
They
Beechwood
throw it
age.
in with the they
Beechwood
they throw it
age.
in there, and
Gotcha.
it has. If you take the tour, which I've done many times because I lived in St. Louis, yeast and stuff grows on the wood. It gives the wood or the yeast something to grow on it. I think they would say, but I never liked it because it tastes like you're drinking a pencil. Because when I was in elementary school, I always chewed on my pencil.
Yeah. When I was in elementary school, all the beers we drank tasted much better. I mean, wait, no. I mean,
That's because you weren't allowed. That's why it was better.
yeah. So I've never, I don't even know what beach in an aquarium looks like. Maybe I do. Maybe I've seen it. I'm trying to think if it's got anything distinctive that makes it stand out.
No, I don't. It definitely is a hardwood. I just looked it up. I didn't see a picture of. Huh. Well, I use it for a lot
Well,
of stuff.
Next is wait, where are we? Beach
Birch.
Birch. And look, I've got some birch right here. I'm going to be doing a birch project
Nice.
in one of my tanks. And it's really cool because it has all this weird leafy stuff, and it's going to be for shrimp to chew on. So I'm looking forward to doing this birch project.
The chat.
Right. But
I'm reading chat. It's
Well-
just the conversations. It's the usual stuff.
well,
The usual
let's
beautiful
just-
stuff.
everybody can read off through that list fine. Let's get right to the hardcore part of this night. Where are
We
you
wanna-
going to find your wood for your fish tanks?
Who's keeping score?
I am.
Good, because I ain't got paper this time.
I got a pen too, and it's a
So
fancy pen.
Explain again, Ed. What was the question?
Okay, if you're going to look for wood or, for your fish tank, there's lots of ways to get it. This will be the best way you think to get your wood. 1 through 10. 10 being the best place to source your wood, one being the worst place.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start right off the bat with driftwood. What Rico likes to do is collect driftwood along the shores.
Yes.
Okay?
And again,
So-
the best part of that, right, is the price. And I'm allowed to do it. I can pick up anything that comes to the high tide mark, the high water mark on our property, but I can also go to the park that's right down by us, and I can pick stuff for my own use and give it away. I can take as much as I want. I'm just not allowed to do it for a business. I can't go there and, like, I've talked to the park ranger, and she's like, "Oh no, if you're doing it for that," and I explained even bringing it to the clash and stuff. She's like, "That's fine. It's just that, if you were a business and you were here every day gathering it, then we would look at that. But you take as much as you want come out once every couple of weeks and take as much as you want."
Now,
Right.
there are negatives to this.
Yes.
Yes. It could be dirty and covered with some mud, and you have to clean the mud. It could have parasites. It could be cherry wood that you don't know which type of cherry wood it is.
Yeah.
So there's an element of negativity along with the positivity, because free is probably going to be way up at the very top.
Yeah.
But the negatives are probably at the top too, like the highest negative side to it.
But you also have the variety. See, that's the thing is again, real quick, I know we're a little pressed for time. We're actually over already, right? Oh no, 10:30.
Oh gosh.
10:30, right?
We have 23 minutes to get through.
Okay, so
maybe I'll just delete a couple.
So we get a ton of ice on the shore, right? At like 10 feet of ice, and the wood will be in that ice. And then at the end of the season, when the ice is gone, that's when I go collecting. So there could be any type of wood in there. And some of that wood's been in the lake for a super long time. So the variety that you can get is massive. I mean, it's just tons. It's from all the way around. It's from Canada. It's from,
There's dozens of ways to clean the wood too. We just can't go there because we don't have enough time tonight.
Yeah.
One thing I want to touch on about the driftwood is if like for me, my lake, it's pretty easy. Yours is not, because yours is so big that there's all kinds of different stuff. Yeah, I ain't talking about that. But anyways, you got a big area on both sides of the lake. You don't know what's on that.
Yeah.
On my lake, I could easily know what trees grow there. So
yeah.
And normally with the trees around our lake, it is native.
So variety could be both bad and good, because again, just like you described. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to start it off. I'll put Ed in the first spot, and I'm going to say this is a nice solid 8, because I think it's fun. If you got a kid, you could teach your kid a little bit about nature. If you like to do some exercise, that's great. I'd probably give it a 10 if I had a good back, because then I'd be out there doing it all the time. So, and like I say, there's a lot of ways to clean the wood.
I'm giving it a 10 because I do understand the negatives, but I know I've been doing it for only 3 years. All the wood that I have in my tanks has all come from that. I have brought, the first year I took a bunch to the clash. This last year wasn't near as much, but I took a lot, and there has been no complaints about people having, a ton of different people have used it, and no complaints there. So I do understand. I also think, again, that cooking it outside for so long after it's soaked for an entire winter, it's relatively safe. So I'm giving it a 10.
Okay, Skipper.
I'm gonna go with an 8 also, because it's one of them things you got to know what's in your area if you want it to be safe or not. But that's still a pretty good score in my book, is an 8.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part is getting out into nature and just it's quiet, so you get your quietness with that. So I'm gonna go with an 8.
Okay, now, guys, this is where the fun part comes, because this, you know what? I don't need to see the. I could actually go to chat. Well, wait, I can have chat here. We are going to roll 2 dice, and those are going to be the 2 people that get their opinions put in here. So right now,
Whip will do
between
this. Sorry.
1 and 10, what do you guys rate for picking up your wood? Is it thanks? Like Whip put a 6 because Whip doesn't like to bend over because he's such a tall guy. Is probably why Whip said a 6. But let's see. It might just be Whip going tonight.
No, there's more. Yeah,
Just
there's
give it a
more.
second.
Okay.
You got your delay.
It's trying to go now. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my back. Hey, Whip. Thank you.
How many is it? Let's say I have a 10. We're going to have 2 10-sided dice on this one. And are you sure? Yes. Oh, I just deleted all my dice.
Mickham,
Okay.
Jason's allowed to have any of the wood he wants for free. I don't ever sell it. I bring the wood to give away. I don't ever sell any of it. I just bring it to give to people. So we're still running,
2
Ed.
and 4.
Oh, we
all
were
right.
still running.
Number 2 is a 6 with Dee Dee. What was the other one?
Dee Dee?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4 is a 7 with Scuba Steve.
Nice, Scuba. So, boy, the people rated it lower than the group here.
Yeah.
16.
I have I'm obviously biased towards it because I enjoy it so much. All the good things that you guys talked about, I sort of gloss over the negatives in my head, but I just enjoy doing it so much, and I enjoy bringing it and giving it to so many people. I enjoy bringing the wood and giving away free stuff. That's one of my favorite things to do is giving stuff away. So
I still have that one that looks like the leg bones.
oh yeah,
Remember that?
yeah. Michelle
was
found that one.
from-
She was very proud of that one.
Not last
Okay,
year, but I think the year
now-
before whenever we did the signing.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna go with wood that you pick up at your aquarium store. Now you might be able to find this at other places, but these are just a few. Like there's different types of this Chilla wood that I've gotten, and look, it also comes in great big ones.
Yeah, I have a flat
call
piece that's like a piece of bark. You know, it's just it looks like a piece of bark, but it has the holes and stuff. I got some brought back when my wife went to Arizona again a couple years ago.
Well, Aquatic Aesthetics sells the real long ones like this, and then the fat ones come from Fish Mania in town, and in Chattanooga. And then what else came from? This is also something that you might see at your local fish store.
Ooh, Mopani.
You know, a nice piece of Mapani.
Beautiful,
That's
beautiful.
beautiful. And Maria Z gave me this piece.
Oh, Maria,
Very
miss you,
nice.
Maria.
Yeah. She asked Rob to pick out the best piece of Mapani for me. And when I came in, he gave it to me.
Oh,
And this is a really pretty piece. I mean,
that's
look
fair.
at that.
Yeah.
Dark on that side and then real rich on that side.
So from an aquarium store or distrib or whatever is what you're talking about.
Yeah. From like online stores like Co-op
Mhm.
or Keep Fish Keeping with KG Tropicals. You know, so there's a lot of different ways. And
KJE, he carries wood products, doesn't he, Keith? KJE.
so now
Yeah.
you're probably going to pay a little more for these products, but you know what? There's also plastics that you can buy
Oh yeah,
from those stores too.
that's a nice piece right there. I mean, that looks great. It doesn't look, it doesn't look cheesy. I've always liked that piece that you've had.
I have 3 of them that all look similar to this. I got these over the years from Petco, or no, PetSmart, And every so often they'll make a new design, and then I'll grab it. So there's like it's a set of 3. So
One downfall with that piece. It's very nice, but that hole in the top, if you have Corydoras, they'll get stuck in there.
A lot of little stuff. Yeah, you definitely have to pack it full with something, right?
Well, that's going to be down in.
It's got a butthole though.
Well, they do that to fill the water in with it, but and then there's little holes at the top to get the bubbles through. But I had a spotted Raphael get stuck in one of those holes too.
Whoa.
So, yep.
I had I had a Bosemani. I lost a Bosemani not that long ago with the coconut hut. I had a really old one from the co-op. It had so it's got the big hole, right, that they go in and out of, but it also had a couple little holes. I think that coconut hut might have had like Java fern on it, Java moss on it or something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long. But anyways, it had a couple holes in the top. This Bosemani dove right into it and got lodged. And I didn't see it. I walked by the tank and I was like, what the hell? And I looked, and he was already gone. He had passed away. So he must have done it like overnight. And he was in that hole, like lodged. I took the coconut hut out and I couldn't even get him out. I had to to get him out. He was in there. He must have just been flying and just, like a bullet.
You had to cut him out?
I did.
That's gross. Yeah. I would have just let it dry and poke him out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, nevertheless, the negatives are it's probably the highest place you're going to pay. Maybe not online, but your fish stores. I'm going to say stores and online stores. So online stores might have some better deals because of the competition and stuff that they have. But your local stores, they have to raise their prices because they got to pay all their bills, their employees, all that overhead costs a lot. And I don't mind spending the extra dollar occasionally to help my local fish store. I always try to help them the best that I can. You don't necessarily have to buy hardscape from your local fish store, and you can't always buy fish because eventually you run out of fish. So I try to get what I can from the local fish store whenever I can. So, but with that said, I am going to give it a 7.
Fair.
I'm giving it a 7.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6. The reason why I'm giving it as a 6 is not only because of the price. If you buy it online, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know the looks of it. You can't pick what it is. That's my downfall to it. But if it was just strictly fish store, it'd be a higher score. But since it's both, I got to give it a 6 because of that reason.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair. I'm going to go with a 6 as well, and for basically the same thing. You don't know what you're getting, but at the same time, if you are going to a fish store and buying it there, they're not just getting like me. I'm finding some cool pieces, but they get like really. You can really find some amazing pieces. You're going to get a better quality than what I would normally find most of the time. I mean, I get lucky and find some nice pieces.
Now, here's one thing that Bob Steamthought once said. A great way to do a starter for your fish tank is to see if the store will sell the wood that's sitting in their fish tank already. Because then you're getting a ton of beneficial bacteria with it. And it's a great way to start up a new tank. And so
that's a good point.
That may have pushed me over an 8, but I've never actually done it.
Yeah, me neither.
I've always done sponge filters.
It would depend on the store.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not do it from Bermuda Triangle in Chattanooga. I know they've got a real pretty store, but I wouldn't buy any fish from them because they like to sell sick fish, and he hates YouTubers. Okay. So go to Fish Mania.
Bermuda Triangle. I said Twangle. Bermuda Triangle. Twangle.
Already put start in
go to Fish Mania or go to in it. Watch the guy probably just subbed to me yesterday and was like, I got to give this guy a chance.
I want to sponsor that guy.
Go ahead and roll your dice. I already put start. They already been put in there.
Houston Manzanita, Geek Boy, is that the one? Houston Manzanita?
1 and 3.
One is Whips with a 9.
Boy, Whip is
And-
on it.
Geek Boy with a 9 also.
You know what? I think we're missing something the people are catching because they're doing the opposite of what we're saying.
Well, they probably got places that I don't have that I can go to pick
Sure.
stuff like that.
I have no access to any of those types. There's nothing within an hour of me that sells driftwood or anything like that. Houston Manzanita, that Geek Boy is talking about, is a very cool store. The guy there, I feel like his name is Greg. I can't remember what his name is, but he did some stuff for Fish Fam Christmas the first year. You know, he added some things, and I've heard a lot of good stuff about that store, Houston Manzanita.
It sounds cool and hot.
That's their website too, HoustonManzanita.com, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow. I'll try to figure that out later. Oh, speaking of which, we have a PSA from the Garden of Eater today, and Grant really wants to make sure that he wants people to know that this is the time of year that you need to buckle up.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
You guys couldn't see his face.
Thank you,
behind.
Grant.
I saw it the other day. I've seen that commercial from a long time ago, but when Ed showed it to me the other day, just watching his face backstage when it was happening, he was like,
Are you kidding? I'm thinking, I hope he didn't want this monetized. He just showed you black kids. Ooh, that was crazy.
This
I
is not for
it's a
children to
television
watch.
commercial. It's a television commercial.
That must
It's
have
out
been
there.
whenever I was a
It's
kid.
a PSA. We want people to, because that guy, when he flipped his car, if he didn't have his safety belt on, he may have been injured.
Well, the hell with the kids that got steamrolled.
Yeah. Well, they should have had
That's
their
their fault
seatbelt
for
on,
sitting
too.
there.
It's their fault for
Shouldn't
sitting
play.
there.
I guess the next PSA is don't play next to the highway.
Thank you, Oinky.
Okay.
Dropping that link.
Oh, thank you. Okay, now the next one is one of my favorite places, and it's swaps and conventions, and you can get some pretty cool wood specials. Like, check out this awesome piece of wood. This thing, it weighs a bajillion pounds. It looks like a haunted tree, but it's hollow, so you could have things swimming inside of it or hanging upside down in it. I love this piece of wood. I got this in Cincinnati like 3 years ago at their swap. This is a Knoxville swap. Oh. Check out this monster.
Oh,
This
yeah.
one
Look at
here.
that. Man.
I want to do a round tank with puffer fish, like pea puffers, and just have them swimming around this thing and looking in the holes for snails. I think that'd be so awesome. Ugh. It weighs a lot.
Geek Boy has a point, though, about those. He said, you got to be careful at the convention. Some creepy people giving out wood there, I hear.
Well, I'm going with that was part of the driftwood pickup. And then look at this weird piece I'd never seen in my life. This came from the fish what was it called? The fish scape. The scape off. And this is called dragonwood. And I don't want to hold it over my fish tank because it has sand in it. But I'm rescaping my own fish tank, so this was one that was in it because I didn't like how it came out. So, I mean, you can get some really... Oh, this is a neat one that I got at Aquashella. And I've never seen it anywhere before. It's on like a piece of dragonstone. I mean,
That's
look at how
awesome.
beautiful this thing is.
Yeah, bonsai, right?
Man, I'd love to get one.
Yeah.
Of them. Ooh.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Bonsais are,
Well,
especially with some moss
think
on
this-
there. That's
I think it was $55, and that's not bad for
No.
something as awesome as this thing. I mean, that is so cool. So
Think of the. Oh man, I could think of so many Anubis to put in there.
well, I was thinking about Windala, putting that in there.
Greg said they dissolve really super fast. Have you seen that, Craig? Because again, that's what we were talking about with the grapevine too. But if you have, but again, bonsai is not a type of tree; it's a thing, right? It's a art. So the wood itself could be a lot of different types of wood, right?
Yeah, unless I consider coating it before I put it in, but I don't think so. I think when I do it, I'm just going to do it, and when it dissolves away, I throw it out and I start over. Because like
Now-
most scape tanks, most scapers that do tanks, like Jen Williams will tell you, they don't keep their tanks very long at all. You know, you try to keep it going for like 2 years if you're lucky, and then you're redoing it. Sean Peck, he rotates his quite often. You know, he doesn't ever let it go too long because the plants get so gigantic, and you know, nutrition gets out of the soils and all that. So they're always changing their scapes. So if it lasts 2 years, it costs $55, I think. So that was $25 a year, $27 a year for enjoyment out of it. I think it's probably worth it. But so I'm normally a little more free spending when I go to conventions, you know, like because I like to take like $200 or $300 just to have fun with, to buy something special, and a lot of times it's a piece of wood. So I'm gonna give the conventions a 9 as my favorite place so far to get wood.
You got one, Skipper? You got something in the chamber?
No, I'm gonna go with the 9 also. What's nice about the swaps is not only are you getting good wood, you're also getting a connection with the it could be a big business, it could be a small business, and you get to talk with them. So a 9 also.
And you're saying specifically at like conventions and swaps. You're not, yeah, I think a 9 is a fair. I think that's a good place to get it. The money kills me, you know, because again, I'm a cheap bastard, but you know,
A lot of times they sell at a discount, so there.
They do, and you can get really good deals, like crazy good deals at those. But yeah, I think a 9 is fair because of everything you guys described. It's all good stuff.
Holy cow!
All
It's
right.
almost been an hour already. Jeez.
Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh, we gotta hurry up, guys. Let's talk about Dusty on your channel. Is that okay?
Yeah, we can do that.
We're
So-
gonna finish this off with just the swaps. So let's
Go
just do
ahead
the
and-
next two.
Go ahead and roll that beautiful bean dice. I was gonna say
I got-
footage.
A 2
Bean?
and a 5.
a two, and a 5. All right. No, 2 is Nano Aquarium God with the number 10.
Oh, Nano.
CJ Black.
Jay coming in.
Also, Andy Carson with the number 10.
Oh,
Hi CJ. It's been a while.
nice job. Well, okay. It's kind of a landslide in the end because we're only going to go with I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 5 other places to get wood, but these I decided to just go with the 3 top ones for this since we're running out of time. But it is conventions with a 57 out of possible 60. Driftwood coming at second with a 34, you know, collecting it yourself is what I should say. It's just collecting.
Yeah.
And then going to your local stores or online stores, a 37.
So tied.
So
You said
yeah,
the other
no,
one 37.
39.
Oh,
I'm sorry, it was a 39.
okay.
So there you have it, folks. Wow, I can't believe this show went so fast, everybody.
There's
was
a lot
fun.
of discussion with Driftwood, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to do another show on Driftwood maybe in a month or two. But
That would be great. I mean, if it was in April, because I could really, I could have a ton of different styles that I've picked. Because we'll start the way this year is going. We're not going to have a really severe winter, so I have a feeling I'll be picking probably in March. I'll probably be picking. So, if we do it like in March, I'll just have a ton of different things to show from what I gathered. I'd love to do that.
awesome. Well, thank you, Rico. Thank you, Skipper, so much for hanging out with me for the hour. And thank you to all my mods. You guys, I'm sure you did a great job. I don't hear anybody complaining, even though I guess I don't ever hear anybody complaining. It'd only be these two guys I hear. But they weren't complaining, so you must have did a good job. Thank you to all my subs. You guys, you really helped me out a lot with everything. I don't know if we had a super chat, but if there was, I really feel like a jerk for not remembering it. So I apologize.
You know what? I
Was
didn't
there?
see one. Let me just double
Okay,
check. I don't believe fan funding. Yeah, nothing, right?
Well-
it was the membership stuff tonight. Lots of membership stuff.
Awesome. And thank you, Grant, for the great PSA messages that you do over there at the Garden of Eater. And we will catch you guys all on the next stream in like 3 or 4 minutes. So you guys have time to run to the bathroom. And we'll catch you on the flip side.